Part 2. All right, so Terry's... How many quilt blocks did you make already, Terry?
I don't know. I've been keeping track. But...
Now you really got the feel of it.
Yeah, finally.
So the purpose of teaching Terry this block was how to strip piece with a muslin background base, sewing straight lines, ironing, piecing, basic quilt piecing techniques. Let's see, then he's going to take it over here, fold it over. All right, back to work for me too. So far, I put all those blocks together. Now that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks across, and I need to go 5 more across. And so far, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks up, and we need to go 9 blocks down. You can see how beautiful this is coming out. I got back up here. It's really awesome. It really is. So what we've been doing is Terry's been making the blocks now, and I've been sewing the blocks together and then seaming them across to try to get perfect seaming, as you can see. This is going to be a heavy damn quilt when it's done. So, and he's going to have it sent out to a long arm quilter where they'll true it up and then quilt it. So I'm running out of space to hang, Terry. I don't know where I'm going to hang anything. I'm going to have to hang it outside on the house, Terry.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in the house and hang it. So here's Terry piecing the blocks. Well, Terry, while you're doing this, would you like to tell the viewers anything about your memory quilt, your first ever quilt? And your sister is a quilter herself, so she's a pro.
Yeah. Well,
She's a pro, so she's been observing us long distance on this.
well, there's really nothing I need to add to it, but I will say it's quite the project.
Look at him, he folded them so perfectly. Look how he folded it all. Took his time to fold everything up. I've got to bring you my strips because, you know, I'll do a few more until we get caught up.
Yeah. Well,
But Terry's, I'll tell you what, Terry, okay, let's tell the story what happened. About 12 or 15 years ago, you remember what year it was you were at my house over there? It was about maybe 2007, 8. Maybe about 10 years ago. I think it was about 10 years ago, Terry. Terry came to my house and saw a quilt I was making. I don't make quilts very often, but it was a column quilt called Scrap Happy Quilt that I was making. Oh, it was before 2007. It was about 2007 because the Scrap Happy Quilt was done before I was on Sewing with Nancy, and I think that Scrap Happy Quilt came out in 2006 or 5, something like that. Anyway, I was making that quilt before I was on Nancy, I believe, because because I remember when I went to Nancy's place to do her show, and she gave me a tour of her facility, a Scrap Happy Quilt was on the wall, and I said, oh, that's one of my favorite videos of your quilting. So anyway, Terry goes, I really like that. He goes, I want a quilt like that. I said, okay, so let's go get the fabric. I said, you buy the fabric and we will make it. So so took him to Joanne Fabrics and he picked all these fabrics, right, which you're seeing. Well, he picked a couple more just recently, but all these fabrics Terry picked, right? So then he goes, so when are you going to have it done? And I'm like, whenever you come back and we make it together. He goes, I'm not going to sew. And I'm like, well, then it's going to sit here until one day you decide to get that sewing machine with me, because I'm not making this damn thing myself. So here it is, like 10 years later, Terry retired, and he says, I call him, I said, do you want to make a retirement quilt now? Because here's what happened. 2 years ago, Dennis, his best friend and hairdresser down in Naples, threw Terry's 60th birthday party, and he calls me, Dennis calls me and says, I'm throwing Terry's 60th birthday party. Okay, who's going to all be there? All his co-workers, his sister's coming down, you'll be down. I said, great. So I went down there, and I stayed at Dennis's during the day, and then at the end of the day, after the party, I went to Terry's house, and I walked in with his sister, and lo and behold, what's on the dining room table? A sewing machine. I looked at Rosemary and I said, Rosemary, is that your machine? Did you bring it down when you came? She goes, no, that's Terry's. I'm like, Terry bought a sewing machine? Terry, tell the viewers why you bought that sewing machine.
to fix stuff.
To fix stuff.
Yeah, that was the only... Just every once in a while you have stuff that needed to be repaired.
So, and tell the viewers your ingenious idea that you made. Your book holder.
Oh, that was my first project.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I wanted something to hold a book.
While he was reading it on his lap. So he made it with foam and fabric. We don't have a picture of it, but you'll get the idea.
I do.
Oh, you got a picture of it? Oh, okay, well, we'll get it later and I'll incorporate it into this video.
Where's mine?
Well, wait a minute. We'll just do it now. Let me pause. Okay, so here's his iPad. It almost looks like an automobile car seat for a child when you kind of look at it in the picture. But then, see, he made it out of foam and fabric. He sewed the casing and put the stuffed the foam inside his casing. And now he has a place when he sits on his lap to read a book. Very nice, Terry. And that was his very first project.
Yeah.
That was very cool. Very cool. So I put Terry in front of this sewing machine because it has the biggest extension table for laying the quilt block on. And it's working really nice for him.